getting to know you, putting it my way.
Hello, I'm the Captivating Christian. I remember it because you need Jesus. So what movie could I possibly review today to make my voice more high-pitched than it already is? Well, today we're talking about the 1999 animated King and I movie. It was either this or doing TikTok reaction videos. I personally wanted to do a video talking about the nominees for next year's election, but they said no! The King and I was originally based on real events. Allegedly. Following an English school teacher, Anna Lenowens, who was sent to Siam, or Thailand, to bring modern Western tradition to their land. It was turned into a book. They later wrote their own book to clear up what they felt were untrue misconceptions, but her book was eventually turned into a stage musical by Roger and Hammerstein, and a live-action movie was made in 1956, and that brings us to today's subject, an animated movie released in 1999. While it was put out by Warner Bros., it was put together by a company called Rankin Bass, the same studio behind A Year Without a Santa Claus, Frosty the Snowman, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The film was directed by Richard Rich, a former Disney animator who went on to have a career in straight-to-video Alpha and Omega and Swan Princess sequels. And sure, he's probably done a few good movies or interesting movies throughout his career, but I wouldn't know any of them. I don't watch movies. And besides, everyone knows that cartoons and animation are just things for really little kids, as well as individuals who are unfortunately forced to review things on the internet. But let's just get this over with. This is The King and I, the 1999 version. So we begin on a boat in the middle of a storm as we see our main child character and his comic relief monkey sidekick. Wait a second, didn't I already review this movie last month with the Pippi Longstocking movie? Only thing that's missing is the father character falling overboard.
Don't worry! I'm so fat, I'll float!
Well, don't worry, this movie is different. That movie didn't have a giant fire-breathing sea serpent that begins attacking the boat. The first thing you think of when you think of The King and I, obviously. Said dragon was sent by the villain of the movie, Kralahome, the Prime Minister of Siam. In the original story, he was an advisor to the king who wanted Siam to stick to its Eastern traditions and reject Western convention. Or at least that's what it says on Wikipedia. I haven't seen the original movie in forever. Here, he's an evil wizard who wants to kill the king so he can take over the land. Because no movie has ever done that before in the history of movies. Can you think of a single movie that's ever done something like that? I can't possibly think of one. Oh, and he also has a sidekick in this version, Master Little, played by the same guy who played Sean Connery in Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh, did you want to get rid of King too? Oh, I get it, oh conniving one.
No, you don't.
No, I don't get it, you're right, but you go explain to me now, huh?
Ah, shit, Ruckus Knuckers, y'all know who it is. It's the grandfather of good old DJ Not Nice.
Oh, hello, please. You can call me DJ Not Nice.
Oh, the spicy dumpling master. What? Seriously, what? What? Ah, shit, man. You see? This is why we can't have rice prees. Moving on.
Cleverly convince her that our king is a cruel, primitive, merciless barbarian!
Well, if your plan is to bring her to your country and convince her that the king is bad, then why did you send the dragon to try and scare her away in the first place? It's here where we get one of the many out-of-place song sequences. Yes, even more so than Pippi Longstocking. It's here where Anna sings I Whistle a Happy Tune to cheer herself up.
The shivering in my shoes, I strike a careless pose and whistle a happy tune, and no one ever knows I'm afraid.
So yes, you are seeing this correctly. She teaches everyone on the boat to whistle when they are scared, and it actually defeats the dragon. So, after an opening like that, Anna and her son Louis make it to Siam. Quite upset with not being given a home like she was promised, she goes to meet with the king. It's here where she meets up with the other characters, like the king's children, his pet panther, and his female servants, slaves, multiple wives. I'm not sure. They don't explain who these women are in this version.
Irma sends a gift to the King of Siam.
Gift?
Sometimes rugs, once a cuckoo clock, this time her.
That girl? She's a person, not a rug.
A barbaric old custom.
That kind of thing is just another clear example of authoritarianism. In a film that is allegedly marketed for children and families. For shame, Warner Brothers. For shame. They also introduce us to this young woman, Tuptim. She was intended to be a slave, but she clearly doesn't want to be there. But she also doesn't want to be sent back to Burma with dishonor on her, or else she'll be killed. But I guess we can just forget about that, because look at the cute cartoon elephant. They also introduce us to the king's eldest son, and they immediately hit it off.
Tusker?
Who are you?
An object. Like rug given to king.
His Majesty receives many gifts.
And if I displease in any way, I'll be sent back to Burma. You know what such dishonor means?
Death.
Huh, a forbidden romance between a royal and a peasant? I can't possibly think of a movie that had that in it, can you? I can't think of one. Anna and one of the servants look out and see them both falling for one another, and we get another out-of-place song sequence.
Hello, young lovers, whoever you are. I hope your troubles are few. All my good wishes go with you tonight. I've been in love like you.
Well then, that was pointless. Well sung, but pointless. I don't know. What are the comic reliefs up to, anyway?
Oh, you! And sometimes, why? What you looking at? You never seen man pinned to wall with 6 knives before?
No. Cool.
Ha 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 ha! It was a little funny. Kralahome notices that none of his plans are going like he wanted, so he decides to trick the British by writing a letter telling them that Anna is in danger.
Onward bound at last.
Fair winds all the way, Sir Edward.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Tea? Oh,
Why, thank you.
Aw shit, son. First we had racist Asian stereotypes, now we got British stereotypes. They get to the letter and set sail for Siam immediately. Back with Anna, she tries to teach the children about the outside world beyond the 4 palace walls.
Siam is not so small.
Oh, but look. England's even smaller.
But Royal Palace is center of whole universe.
I suppose we all think our home is the most important place.
This results in the most well-known song in the musical, Getting to Know You. It's well sung and the instrumental is pretty, as is the animation, but like the rest of this movie, they just can't stay on any of the main characters. Instead, they show us more of Mickey Rooney and the monkey messing around. I wish I could get more into the story of the movie, but it seems like the movie won't let me. It would rather put bad comic relief in the foreground and put the actual plot itself in the background instead. The king finds out about his children leaving the palace grounds, and he begins to fight with Anna, who is still displeased about not getting her house. This results in another song where they make it painfully obvious they're going to get together in the end.
Your servant, your servant! Indeed, I'm not your servant, although you give me less than servant's pay. I'm a free and independent employee. Employee.
The prince tries to subtly tell his father that he wants to choose his own bride instead of having one bestowed onto him. So the king goes to pray for guidance in yet another song sequence. while also being attacked by statues that Kralahome brought to life. And it comes to an end when the panther howls and breaks the king's concentration. So his plan was to first scare Anna away from Siam, then it was to convince her that the king was a brute, then it was about tricking the British to showing up and stopping the king themselves, and now he's trying to kill him with statue rock monsters. You need better organization skills with your evil plans. None of these plans seem even remotely consistent with each other. After we get a love song between the prince and the slave girl from Burma, Anna tells the king that the British are on their way, still under the pretense that he is a barbarian. Why would they let them know that they're coming, and why doesn't Anna try any kind of effort to stop them from coming and let them know that she's not really in danger like they thought? I don't know, they're British.
They call me barbarian.
Who?
Certain parties who wish to steal my country. If you be Queen Victoria, and somebody tell you I am barbarian, do you believe it?
But it's a lie.
A false lie.
No, Ariel, he's actually got a point. You see, King, we actually have a term for that over here. It's called fake news.
What have you decided to do about it?
You guess what I will do. Guess.
He'll fight the British gunboat, cannon against spears, and guess who'll win?
I believe you'll not battle the British.
What?
So yes, Anna and the king will be working together, and Anna will be rewarded with the house she was promised, without technically working together, honoring the Siamese tradition while also bending the rules enough. Master Little tells Kralahome that the prince loves the servant girl, and he plans to use this for the next phase of his plan. But before the British can arrive for the banquet,
on a bright cloud of music shall we fly, shall we dance?
oh, I get it. She had a husband, and he died, and he was also a Jedi, and that's why he's now a Force ghost, and it actually makes perfect sense when you think about it. The dinner starts off well enough, but the bombshell about the forbidden romance is dropped.
Father, may we discuss this privately?
Who? Servant girl and prince! Forbidden! Dishonor! Do as custom demand.
Your Majesty.
Whip!
Whoa there. Please do not turn this into Donkey Ollie and actually depict whipping on screen, please. I don't think I could take another moment like that. Thankfully, they don't go the Donkey Ollie route and show someone getting whipped, but instead, the king banishes her to where she came from. But they begin to run away from the guards, and Kralahome uses his magic into scaring them into where he wants them to go.
Safe enough. Come, Topton. You can do it.
The two get swept away in the Red River, but the king follows them in a hot air balloon and saves them. All the while, Master Little gets pelted with fruit by Lewis and the animal sidekicks. Things begin to look up for our heroes, but Kralahome shoots down the balloon with the fireworks display. You know, Kralahome, I'm pretty sure people saw that. I realize that he's desperate at this point, but still, I think that doing something like that is still not going to get you a spot at the throne.
Sir Edward, I can explain this.
The prince, the girl, and the panther make it safely, but it seems the king did not make it.
I will say when it's time to cry.
I mean, okay, they treat it as if he's critically hurt, but still, at this point in the movie, it doesn't matter. The movie's almost over. Kralahome and Master Little are not put into jail for attempted murder, but are instead forced to clean up animal droppings, and the film comes to a pretty pleasant end, with the King and Anna sharing their iconic ending dance together. That was the animated King and I movie from 1999. It exists. I think my main criticism with this movie is, why did they even bother making this an animated film? I mean, was there really that much of a public demand for the King and I movie retold like an animated Disney film? The movie doesn't seem to have any interest with the main characters or any of the plot, and instead they focus way more time on the cute comedy relief sidekick characters. Whatever your opinions are on the book or the musical or the original movie from 1956, I think we can all generally agree that this was a major step down. And hey, if this movie did anything correctly, it just made me want to rewatch that movie instead. But oh well, hopefully next month we have something better to talk about that's not just more poor animation. Though knowing my luck, it's probably not going to be like that. Seriously, I want to do videos talking about actual political subjects that people aren't smart enough to think about themselves. But for some reason, people just want me to talk about movies like this instead. I don't get it. Whatever. I'm the captivating Christian, and may Jesus be with you.
Good friends, Kim and I.